So this is Sal, and she's an editor here at ASAP Science, and she's also very brilliant.
In all my years of studying chemistry, I never heard of ASAP Science, so I figure I'll look you up after I've said this. I really want to touch that woman's hair. Like, really touch that hair. Now let's look up ASAP Science, shall we? So I type your name into Google and I get every social media account that you could possibly have to promote your brand. I'm not big on speeding up the process of understanding scientific method or theory, but if you can make science fun, great. Especially if there's a chance of encouraging younger minds to get involved in a STEM field. Now let's find out why this video was sent to me.
A while ago, we made a video called Are Gay Men More Masculine? Talking about how the idea of masculinity affects men.
If I go and watch that video now, how much do you want to bet that they generalize masculinity as a whole and determine a certain aspect of it as toxic? Let's go find out.
A few moments later.
Yup, called that one. After listening to that video, I decided to troll the comments, see if anyone said anything interesting, including the one to the side there. The one that caught my attention was, all these comments be saying how the vid was meant to stop men from being or attempting to be masculine, but that's not what the vid was about. Mitch was saying how society has such an unfair standard for men these days, that those who normally cannot meet these standards are often seen as inferior to masculine men. Even though, as we now know, masculine men are the ones being ostracized by the supposed inferior man. Anyway, continue with your video. Oh, and the patriarchy featured in that one. I have no doubts it'll pop up in this too.
And today we're talking about how masculinity and the patriarchy also affects women, you ladies.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Patriarchy? You're called ASAP Science, and you come to me with the patriarchy? Masculinity is something that could be discussed, and femininity certainly. But a myth? I may as well go to one of my old professors and say, dude, let's talk science about Sasquatch. Shit. Why do I get the feeling this is going to go down the path of what is and is not the right type of woman, or oppression, or entitlement? Whatever, carry on.
Over the years, many film theorists have talked about how women are depicted in film and television.
Oh, so that's what a film studies degree is for. I always thought if you're going to write a 10,000 word dissertation on the Avengers, your end career goal would be something a bit more... Would you like fries with that?
They usually talk about how women are used as a supporting role in a male protagonist's journey.
That's not a bad thing. We all need someone there to help tell the story or make the story progress. Maybe they are predominantly female because to sell a movie, certainly to a wider audience, there needs to be a love story. And that works. It has worked for decades. It's not going to change just because maybe we're a little more cynical towards affection.
Known tropes include the manic pixie dream girl, like Natalie Portman in Garden State, and Kirsten Dunst in basically everything she's ever done ever. But a subtle trope that I would like to talk about today is the cool girl. The term cool girl was recently popularized by the book and film by Gillian Flynn, Gone Girl.
Cool girl is hot. Cool girl is gay. Cool girl is fun. Cool girl never gets angry at her man.
Two quick things. Firstly, I despise the word trope like I do the word strawman. I think it is overused by a type of person. Certainly trope is overused by feminists in popular culture, if you will. The second thing, cool girl film you just described sounds an awful lot like an individual going the extra mile to fit in with people. That is not uncommon amongst men.
The cool girl is rooted in the concept of patriarchy, and patriarchy is the manifestation of institutionalization of male dominance over women and children in the family, and the extension of male dominance over women in society in general.
A faster and more accurate definition for patriarchy is myth. You mention institutionalized male dominance over the family. Well, Whitey Webfoot happened to point out with a suitable citation that 1 in 4 children are raised in fatherless homes in America. Clearly that part of your patriarchy definition is wrong. And you mention male dominance in society. How interesting you mention that, because there are quite a number of laws that favour women over men intentionally, most recently being the definition of rape in the United Kingdom. That essentially means the only way a woman is charged with rape is if she commissions a gang rape on another. because of course that's the same bloody thing. I would love for you to now tell me what rights women don't have over men in society, and I mean legally. Tell me something about the workplace perhaps, where men are favoured, without using the patriarchal air conditioning unit.
So I know that that's a lot to take in. Just to clarify, unlike sexism, which is basically about the individual's feelings about a person, the patriarchy is really a system that governs all of us and how we interact with each other.
As a male that has yet to truly benefit from the patriarchy, i.e. my fucking sandwiches, employment, housing, generally, all those things you think you're entitled to, and I don't like the word entitled, but it does fit in with a lot of the news articles I see with single mothers bleating on about entitlement to benefits, to housing, things I am not entitled to. When I hear someone talk about a patriarchal system, the first thing I think is, so what are your shortcomings that you are now looking for someone to blame or something to blame for you not being as successful as you want or think you should be? As a single male, I'm not anywhere near the level I believe I'm capable of. Am I going to blame someone for my lack of employment? No. I am instead going to keep trying, and when I get there, I get there. If I don't, oh well, I tried. I didn't look to blame someone like the patriarchy, when really the blame is all on you for not being as proactive or being the best you could be with a real degree that doesn't create victims, i.e. gender studies that actively seeks to make more victims.
Social and gender inequality, civil laws, even which last name your child takes. What's up with that?
As we both know, the patriarchy doesn't benefit men in the first two. I'm going to go ahead and tell you why the last name thing exists. So around 50 to 90 years ago, women in English-speaking cultures got a bit annoyed about the fact that they would be addressed as Mrs. and then their full husband's name. And this was because of the name of the house usually was named after the husband, because they bought it or they built it. So instead they adopted their husband's last name. I hope that helps. Now of course this is something that's fairly redundant now with credit ratings being accepted on both sides. So it's not compulsory, but it is widely accepted. Not compulsory though. I hope that helps you understand, although I doubt you'll ever get married. Cat lady.
It creates ideas of masculinity and femininity, and that is really hard for us to perform as regular people, both men and women alike. This is kind of an out there concept, so I'll give you some examples to kind of contextualize it. Men, I'm so tough, I'm just here playing with my boys in the six. She's calling me, I don't even know why. I'm tough, I'm strong, I don't have feelings.
That is so totally accurate. It's frightening how accurate you are. You may well be a man. I can see you fit. Can I touch your hair?
Women, I don't know. What do you want to eat? Don't I look nice? I always look nice. I just want to stay virginal forever and just wait for my husband, my shining knight.
Clearly you're a dude because you know nothing about women. Okay. Unless, of course, you do know where these virgins are at, because I know a lot of guys that would really like 72 of them each.
The function of the cool girl is to create the antithesis to this sort of like feminine ideal of sweetness while still preserving the patriarchy. So you have to be rowdy, you have to be drinking beers, you have to be chilling with the dudes, and yet you still have to be so hot.
This is not necessarily true, as beauty is subjective. Also, as Hollywood, as you've mentioned, and quite a few people mention, has a tendency to exaggerate for effect, or being a meritocracy, is only really interested in making money, it's more likely to hire the most attractive women to portray or make a point, which simply put is a form of reductio ad absurdum. This idea of a cool girl isn't uncommon amongst men, or women, trying to fit in with another group. It is normal. It is all about groups bending, shaping, being malleable, accommodating to each other. And I think you're using the idea of a woman trying to fit in by doing all these things that are considered guy things as a poor argument of the patriarchy's effect on women in society.
This affects women the most when expressing anger. Women are not allowed to express anger because it disrupts the patriarchal system. Whenever a woman is shown being angry in media, she's shown as being hysterical and raging and nonsensical, instead of a woman just being upset and wanting to say how she feels. And that is the core of why the cool girl is such a problem.
Yet again overlooking the fact that in media it is all built on targets and making money. That applies to magazines, adverts, television shows, movies. If a hysterical woman is going to make more money than a very quiet and emotionally overwhelmed woman, then the hysterical one is going to get more promotion, more attention. That's not to say that the more emotionally in tune film cannot resonate with audience members. It will just not be perceived as profitable in some areas. That doesn't mean, though, that you should put more money into that to make it more profitable, because it's not how it works. These have been tested, they have been put through extensive market research. Some of my favourite female characters are the more vindictive females, like Joy Turner in My Name is Earl, when in the first season she puts poison in cookies for Earl to kill him to get his money from his will. Later on, to get Catalina back, she puts laxatives in, well, something else, which ends quite funny. Simply put, it is all about what appeals to the audience.
So everybody can just have a beer, hang out with the guys, enjoy sports. You should be able to talk about things that upset you, especially stating emotions like disappointment or anger without losing that cool girl cred.
You really shouldn't be giving other girls advice on how to fit in with guys. Most people have the capacity to read the room, feel the room, become a chameleon if need be to try and fit in if they want. If not, they associate with other people. It's not difficult.
So if you're constantly performing the role as a cool girl, you're not really allowed to be yourself. And on top of that, you're just competing with girls for male attention. If male attention is the point, then you're gonna get comments like, oh, I only hang out with the dudes, or, I don't really get along with girls. What's the point of that? Girls are awesome.
I'm not even kidding. My previous comment still stands. You are essentially saying that a type of woman is not the right kind of woman if that kind of woman is trying to fit in with a kind of man. Not all men are lads, and not all girls are blokey. As you take the opportunity to give us 4 steps to how to dismantle the patriarchy, I feel it appropriate to speed you up so I can cover your points quicker, because honestly, your face is starting to bother me, and the fact I haven't been able to touch your hair yet is starting to drive me insane.
Here's 4 steps to dismantling the patriarchy, LOL. Never be afraid to be angry. Being angry is not being extra. It's really a way for you to communicate your needs and what you want assertively to someone else, and no one can guess it for you. I remember being really nervous about using the word anger because being angry means being hysterical and weird, and you're not. You're just someone who has opinions who's living out here with other people. So communicate.
Dismantling a myth 101. Show your emotions. Wow, you've set a standard already.
You're allowed to love other females. You have no idea how radical this idea actually is. So the fastest way to kiboshing the patriarchy is really having a passion for other women and having a passion for yourself. Go make a friend. # girl power.
Just when I thought you could actually make something of this, your second point is to say, girls love other girls, because that will totally smash something that does not exist. Oh, Cupcake, how desperate for male approval are you?
You're allowed to be unique. Every time you're doing you radiate a positive energy and you draw people to you. Being your true self is one of the most rewarding things that you can do. It inspires you to keep really having confidence in yourself. So never forget to be unique.
And what if being you happens to fall into the bracket of cool girl? Is that unique? Is that unacceptable? Because I think you think it's unacceptable, and that person needs to be themselves within the bracket, the margin, the area you designate as acceptable for a woman. You're a genius.
Importantly, you're allowed to like yourself. Like yourself a lot. Patriarchy teaches us that unless we're this amazing ideal that's unattainable, we're not enough. Live the way that you want to authentically live. So never forget to love yourself and to appreciate yourself every day.
So your 4 genius ideas were to love, be angry, be unique, and masturbate. I hope someone wrote these down.
These 4 steps will help to dismantle the patriarchy. It's also for men too, and every single person, whether gender identified or not.
The only thing I take away from this is that you need to be angry, love someone of the same sex, be unique, and masturbate. Oh, and you can try and be a cool girl, but it's not the right kind of girl. Even if you are already what is regarded as a cool girl, you need to, be the other one to smash the patriarchy. Thank you all for listening.